Today was a great run. I switched it up a little bit, but I did hit my numbers. This is what today looked like. Okay, 22 hours. I can deal with that. Alright, next. Alright, 3.5 miles, not bad. Any promotions? Yeah, alright, I'm back up to 52. Alright, let's hope and pray it continues to grow from there. Okay. So, time for my shower, and then I'll fill you in on the details. Hey guys, good morning, and welcome to week 6 of my 16-week marathon training program. Today is Tuesday, and as we know, for those who've been following along, today are intervals. When you saw me when I got back, I definitely had a great day. Kind of switched it up a little bit, and but I hit my numbers, so I'm happy with that. And I'll go into that in a moment. But as always, I'm going to go ahead and start our morning with a shot of wheatgrass. I put in here only because you can see there's quite a bit of head on this wheatgrass. For whatever reason, that's the way it kind of pureed out or juiced out. So I put in the bowl for the extra. And as always, a shot a day keeps the doctor away and the girls too. And if you want to question that, look around. There's no doctors or girls anywhere to be found. No, I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't have to worry about the whole bad breath comment thing, so we're good with there. So let's get started. And because I'm a sick puppy, pour that extra in there. Oh, nothing like going back for seconds. Alright, now that I've had my grass for the day, wheatgrass that is, and yes, I'm washing that one down. Let's go ahead and get started. As you see here, today, weather's still off. I know for a fact it was 87 per Google, so just bear in mind that. My run overall was 3.5 miles. I only spent 410 calories a day. Nice improvement, especially when you look at compared to last week's where I spent 428. So I definitely came down a little bit there. And as I mentioned this morning when I first got back, I did switch it up a little bit. And you might remember me mentioning something on Saturday's run. I think it was Saturday's run or last week. I shared with you guys that sometimes having a 16-week training program is a great thing to work off of. But it's my personal opinion, a lot of these programs are a great way to get the couch potato to the finish line. And they're not necessarily geared towards you specifically, as far as your level of fitness, where you're at, all that kind of stuff. And I've shared with you guys before, sometimes you just have to kind of customize your training day based on how you feel. So if you feel like doing more, okay, that's fine. If you don't feel like doing as much, then maybe don't do as much. Because if maybe not doing as much today means you're going to come back stronger tomorrow, then hey, that's the whole point, right? Come back stronger. And so today, I only did 2 splits or 2 half-mile drills because after my second one, I didn't think I was going to improve any further. So take a quick look here. Of course, my first mile, or my first one, 6,400 a mile. Second 2, you can see, boom, hit the nail on the head. I told you guys last week my goal this week was to run 6 flats. Well, that was kind of my goal last week too, but my goal was specifically to run 6 flats this week after not hitting my goal for 6 flats last week. And you can see, wow, hit the nail right on the head there. And even when, my best pace right there, I mean, both times I peaked out almost about the same speed. Average moving pace, I definitely picked it up a little bit better here. Here was kind of flat, but I'll show you in a little bit kind of how that turned down. And then after those 2, and I'll show you the second split, a little bit more details here in a second. I felt myself losing it. I felt myself slowing down, and the graph will show that. And I personally did not feel as if running 2 more of these we're going to maintain this number and or improve my running capacity. As you know, coming off of Saturday's run, I had, what was it, like 3 days of recovery or something insane. And so I want to excel and I want to improve, but I don't want to always keep working myself to where my body can't catch up, if that makes sense. I don't want to keep running myself into the ground per se, hoping that a good night's sleep or waiting till Sunday, my rest day, to heal myself. I don't want to wait 6 days to get my body back to where I could kick butt again. And so I played it by ear, and what I decided to do was after my second one, and here, let me better illustrate this for you. So these are my two drills. My two drills, first one, look at the time at 9 minutes and 9 seconds to my morning, it starts, and 4 seconds later, I'm peaking along at a sub 6. And you can see here as I move along, I'm running along nice, about the 540 area, comfortably between 540, 550. I'm maintaining that for the duration of the half mile. I understand the half mile turned out to be a little slower, but that also includes ramp up and slow down, whatever. Most of that was 4 seconds in the beginning. But you can see up until, hang on. Okay, right there, 11:37, and okay, and then 12:07. So basically, the last 30 seconds there, you know, I definitely slipped closer to the 6 minute mark, but still kept it under. But needless to say, all along here, I'm cruising along at the 540 in the 540 range. Okay, that's fine. You know, 4 second warm up. Now, with my second one, you can see already. It drops down. And so we blow this up, and you see at 15 minutes 33 seconds into my morning I start, and you figure 6 seconds later I peaked out, and again cruising along nicely in the 540 range, and right about there, right there, 546, 17:12 into it, you know, you can just see I'm starting to slow down. 17:52, I'm already in the 6 minute range, and you can see it was kind of getting worse for a little bit there. So with that, and like as you saw, I was clearly in the 540-ish range, and then I ended up in the 6+ range. I just felt myself, okay, the fuel light went on, and if I was going to do 2 more of these, I wasn't going to impress myself. You know, or even probably not even be able to maintain that number. That was a concern. And so going based on the way my body felt, I went ahead and did my 3 minute race, my 3 minute rest in between, and then I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just do like an open run on the way back. My watch was still set for pace, so I wasn't concerned with that, and I just wanted to see, by comparison, what my body had in it, what my legs had in them. Because after you're cruising down the street at 6 minute pace, everything else is going to feel easy. It just will. So, by comparison, I wanted to see what my body felt like doing. Because, as I shared with you guys earlier on, this is all about perceived effort. And when your brain is going to shut you down when it decides or determines that the perceived effort exceeds your capacity to maintain that for any period of time. That's where the bonk comes in. And so, because I knew that going for an extended run home or jog home at a slower pace would feel much easier than 6 minutes, I figured, okay, let's go ahead and work the legs out, see what we have. And you can see the first mile on the way back was a full mile. The second was 8,700 of a mile. But my first mile, I averaged a 7:25. Not too bad. Kind of getting into it. Again, I wasn't pushing it. I wasn't trying to stay within a certain speed. I just let my body do what it wanted to do, because I knew I wasn't going to go straight home. I wanted to get a little extra distance in. Now, my second mile, you can see my body's getting into the game, and it brings it down to a 7:11. Not so bad. what's really nice about this is the fact that, yes, I started out, of course, your resting heart rate. So the first mile averaged 161. In reality, I was doing 170 at the end. The second mile, I averaged 169. Pretty impressive. Considering my first mile topped at 170, my second mile somewhere along the line I topped at 179 or 71, but I averaged 169. So my body obviously was able to kind of correct it to some degree and chill out with it while still going faster. Not too bad. And again, these are almost 2 full miles after these 2 halves. And then we screwed along here. Yeah, you can see my average cadence, 180 strides a minute. Not too bad for a 7:10, 7:11, 7:25 pace. So my legs definitely felt warmed up. I definitely had enough stride in them. And then you can see my calories. The first mile, I averaged 102. Yes, this wasn't a full mile, but still 102 calories. Not too bad. I can't complain about that. And but to help better appreciate these first 2, especially as tight as these numbers were, especially my finish time. Finish time was almost dead on, minus 0.7 of a second. Now, when we compare last week, and we'll go with my fastest. Fastest was 301, and then we had 306, and we had 301, 303. Okay, and right there the distance were pretty much the same. Yes, for whatever reason, I was only calculating 4,900ths of a mile a day, but on average, I was about 4 seconds faster than last week. So definitely hit my numbers, and definitely impressive about that. Now, something else I want to share with you guys today. You gotta love the beauty of Garmin here, because I have it set up for calories in, calories out. Although I don't record my calories with Garmin, it tells me based on my resting metabolic heart rate, how many calories my body burns based on my height, my weight, my muscle mass, all that kind of stuff that scale on Saturday shows you. And then it determines, okay, you have your active calories. Thus far this morning, although I've only been running for 400 calories, I've been active for 1,000, which means I've not been resting. Okay, that's fine. Which means based on my activity level, based on how many calories it takes my body to exist every day, today is going to be a 3,500 calorie day. So it's some pretty neat stuff Garmin shares with you as far as that goes. Also, I've talked to you guys about it before. My last marathon was September 8th in 2013, and I went ahead and pulled up Lehigh Valley to give you guys an idea what that looked like. And yeah, you can see my average pace was a 7:45 for the entire marathon. I spent only 2,500 calories there, and this gives you an idea of exactly what 26 miles looks like on a grand scale. And I was just out there in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So that was kind of neat. You can see real quick based on my pace, any white gaps, any white, I could assure you, those were water stations. I was definitely at a dead stop for that. Early on, you try to do the jog, swallow thing, and then, of course, some of it goes down your face. Later on, you're like, I'm good for 5 seconds. I'm stop and have a drink. And so that's where you see these gaps there. What I wanted to share with you guys about that was back then, 4 years ago, this was my average pace. I was cruising along in the 17s. I was maintaining pretty much a 7 and some sort of teen pace up through mile 11. So I was doing pretty good there. Then, of course, fatigue starts to kick in. Brought it down into the 7:20 pace. Then I, of course, started fading about mile 18. Mile 20 was the last mile I ever saw a sub 8-minute pace. So, I've shared with you guys, we've read various articles and things that people, the elites especially, always tell us the marathon is really 2 races in one. It's a 20-mile race and it's a 6.2-mile race. And so ideally, the first 20 you should definitely be able to handle because the last 6 are going to be bad. And you can see here, the first 20 definitely kept it in the 7 range. the last 6, never saw a 7-minute mile ever again. And even straddled 8 over here, mile 25. So, so yeah, you run out of gas. What can I say really happened there? Was it fueling? Maybe. Did I have enough fuel when I left in the morning? Maybe, maybe not. I could certainly tell you. That perhaps my mid-run fueling wasn't enough. I don't remember the exact specifics of that race. I think I did. I have this little pouch I'll show you guys later on, where it's just really thin little zip pouch where you keep your gel packs. I don't keep my phone in there. I don't, other than Saturday, I don't normally run with my phone. But the little pouch is pretty much just for your gel packs, or running candy or whatever. So I don't remember if I think I took gels with me, but learning from this, I could say refuel often is definitely going to be key. So in September, I'll probably look to make a conscious effort to refuel about every 4 miles, about every 4 miles or so, just because get it in there. Because as you run, your metabolism is going to not your metabolism, but your digestive system is going to slow down, because you're taking blood away from the stomach, which is all there to sit there and break things down and make them usable, and you're putting blood in the heart, in the lungs, in the muscles. So the stomach's kind of getting robbed. So the stomach is going to digest food slower while you run. So starting early in the race while your body is still hydrated is going to be a real plus. But then also, it's still going to take time. Once you swallow this stuff, it's still going to take time before it hits your bloodstream. So starting to fuel early and often is going to definitely help that fuel be available for you when you get to your later miles. So that's another race strategy we could sit there and work on as time goes on. But also my average heart rate. You could see, for the most part, I was cruising along right there about the 167, 170 range. That was definitely a hot day. I mean, as far as heart rate goes. Now, of course, after mile 20, yeah, the heart kind of chilled out. It was done. It was done. Now, in contrast, if I was able to maintain this 170, would I've seen, better numbers? Probably. Most likely, yeah. I could have probably kept it around the 750 range, maybe. But when you get that far into the race, it's a mental game. It's a total mental game. And all you want to do is have it be done, be over. So having enough in you to sit there and continue to kick butt, you're done. You're done. I mean, you've been doing this for 3+ hours. You're just enough to try to keep yourself going to where you can be happy with your mile times. So, so again, we'll talk more as the weeks go on as to what I plan to do to eliminate that problem or work around it. Because if you've ever looked at some of the elite stats when they post them, like Sarah Hall, I've seen her numbers. They slow down maybe 10 or 15 seconds a mile, but they don't add another minute to their mile. They just don't. So they definitely have the running thing down a whole lot better than I do. But needless to say, you can see here, I was definitely keeping under 100 calories a mile. That was kind of nice. So not too bad there. But I've got a long way to go, because I'm not looking to repeat that race. I'm not looking to do that. I definitely need to get into the sub-7 range, and I definitely need to do that at a sub-170 heart rate. Okay, and to give you an idea as to perhaps why the last 6 weren't very happy miles, if you look at your maximum heart rate. Now, we've seen with some of my strides or some of my drills, my maximum heart rate was 184. So and we saw that I was cruising around like the 170 range for the first 20 miles. We kind of agree with that. So if we take 170 beats a minute and we divide that by my maximum heart rate of 184, I was cruising around for 20 miles on 92% to capacity. 92% maximum heart rate. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. So that explains why the last 6 weren't happy miles. But at the same time, kudos to me for running 20 miles at 90%. But I don't want to do 90%. I would like my goal, and if I, to get my 6.4 to run like a 6:45, my goal is to run, let's say 163 beats a minute. And we divide that by my maximum of 184. Now I'm cruising along at 88%. All right, not too bad, but at the same time, 88% might get me to mile 21 or mile 22 before I start really, adding to the time. Maybe, we'll see. But the goal here is to run as fast as you can with as minimal effort as possible. So the slower your heart rate is, the longer you can go that same distance before you start slowing down, if that makes sense. And of course, the fuel stations, the gels, the goo gels, and all that stuff, the Gatorades, that stuff helps, but it doesn't help like having stuff on board to begin with. That's what really helps the most. And by being able to run at a slower heart rate, I'll be able to keep the stuff on board a whole lot longer. So that's a little bit more about that. That wraps up today's run. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. If you like today's video, feel free to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I post a new video on intervals, fartlek, and my long runs, and let you know exactly how things are coming along with me and my training for my first sub 3-hour marathon. Until then, you guys have yourself a great day, and I'll see you on Thursday. Take care.